main thing with Daisy, or Daisy Belle, or Bicycle Built for Two, is that it's got this sort of repeated pattern that goes through most of the song, just a basic 1, 2, 3 kind of a strum. So what's going on here, let's just hold a C chord like that on the 3rd string and play. I'm using 1 finger per string. I'm going to do kind of that barump thing we've looked at before. If you haven't looked at the lesson, what I'm doing is I'm playing the full chord with 1 motion of my right hand. As you can see, it's a very quick flick of the fingers almost. So you do that, and then you add 2 more notes on the open C and E strings to get that pattern. Now you can either play those open strings, you can either move your thumb back down there and play them, or you can do them with your fingers like this. So the whole first little phrase of the song is just working through a C, part of a C arpeggio, you know, up here on the 10th fret. Now the next note in the tune is that G note. And instead of just playing the G note on the open string, I want to get more of a chord there. So I'm going to play a partial C chord. It's real funny. I'm going to play the G note on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and just play those 3 strings, 2, 3, and 4, like this. So I'm playing basically a G, a C, and a G, and I'm not even playing that 1st string. That whole first couple of measures now sounds like this slowed way down. Let's put on my glasses again so I can read it. And you're going to grab a G7 chord up here, because you want that higher melody note instead of, you want that melody note there. So you get that G7 chord and you keep that same pattern going. So you're going to slide from a G7 chord here all the way up to a G, just a G major chord all the way up here. And then back to your C, A minor, D7, same thing. So there's 2 big jumps there. And I would suggest when you're learning this stuff to practice those jumps. The one jump from the G7 here to the G chord up here. So you can get the whole chord in 1 motion, because you don't have a lot of time. Another big jump, D7, up to a D7 on the 5th fret. I'll get my other fingers out of the way so you can see that. Continuing on, you go to an F chord there. Back to an F chord here. So you're going to go from a F chord at the part at the 5th fret up to that funny C. Now this next, instead of playing that whole C, all those notes, I wrote it with just 3. Just these 3 strings. Why? Because I wanted too. If you want to play all along, it doesn't matter. A minor. And then you're almost to the end of the song, and back to that G7. And that very last chord is yet another variation of the C chord. One of the fun things about Daisy Belle is all the different ways that you have to play a C chord besides just the garden variety one. You're playing a C chord based on arpeggios. Here's the garden variety one. We're playing that partial one there. And then the very last one is another partial one where I'm basically barring at the 3rd fret the first 2 strings. And I hope you've enjoyed this look at the tune Daisy Belle. And until next time, stay tuned.